style right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 702.5 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
It's your main man 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
E-Class Consulting. It's owned and operated by Carice, providing tools, training, and resources that are sure to make you and your business even more successful. We are staffed with a marketing, credit, tax, and a real estate consultant. E-Class Consulting also provides a temporary admin service called E-Class Admins. Want to book an appointment with E-Class Consulting? Call 702-518-3002 or email book@eclassconsulting.com. E-Class Consulting, navigating you to greatness.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Hi. Hey. What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars. On Hot 702.5fm.com.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Up more, you talk a lot of game, boy. Give it to me. Give it to me. Now tell me that your love's strong with me. Now feel it when the night done. I feel what you say, yeah. I let come on, baby, and I gave you all of me. Tell me I wasted time, and I feel your heart, baby. Don't pull us apart, baby. Don't push me across the line. Let me when the night done, yeah. Let me with the lights on, yeah. If you wanna right wrongs, yeah. If you wanna love me, let me when the night done, yeah. Let me with the lights on, yeah. If you wanna right wrongs, yeah. If you wanna love me, if you wanna love me, talk to me nice. You know that I can change your life. Me a 10 out of 5, make you feel so alive. Give me all you gotta give it right back to ya. Can't nobody do you like the way I do ya. If you can't match the energy, I'm through. I let them all, baby, and I gave you all of me. Don't tell me I wasted time, and I feel your heart, baby. Don't pull us
We all the way live today. We all the way live. That's what I'm saying. What was that song that used to go? We all the way live. Something like that. Sometimes I'm not on that show. I guarantee I know the lyrics. There it is. What's happening, everybody? What's going on? We got Cali Bay 143, Lucy Lowe. Who else we got? Ren Words. We got Jay Castile. What's going on, JJ? Yeah, man, we got all my folks out there today. We talking some good stuff today. We talking to our educators because, I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. What happened to songs like that? I'm over here looking for my lotion, and it ain't nowhere in sight right now, and it's getting on my nerves because you know how it is when you wash your hands and then you be all ashy and stuff after you wash your hands. Look at that. See? Engineers come through in the clutch. She knew what I was looking for. She saw me over here. What up, Buckatani? What's happening with you, bruh? Yeah, man, she knew what I had going on in my life over here. She saw my knuckles look like I've been punching flour bags. So she was like, let me help my brother out one time for your mind. But yeah, we in this thing like a wedgie, baby. What's happening then? That's how it go. And we talking education today. Yeah, we are. We talk, educator here. I see you. Remember, and I want you to tune in and tap in. I'm glad you tapping in too, because I'm talking to all my educators. What's up, Dakari? Dakari Kofi in the building, because this is an important subject that I'm thinking about, that we talking about today. This is a really, really big, important subject because procrastination, it's such a big thing. I even wrote a motivational speech about it to talk to adults too about it. You know what I mean? So, if I can talk to adults about it, that means we should have probably got them when it was kids. I think if we nip it in the bud, as they say, exactly. You remember sex education? That's the one thing you remember. Did you procrastinate on that? You didn't wait that long on that, if I recall. Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You waited a little while on that. Me, on the other hand, not so much. But you know how it is. But procrastination is a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. So we got a letter that came in today. Before we get into all that, I always got to give all my my disclaimers and things of that nature. As always, welcome to Holla at the Homie. And I am the Homie 360 the Poet. That's THAPOET. Make sure you spell it right, because that's the only way you're going to find me. And because it means something. But we are right here on hot7025fm.com, and I am live on Instagram, and I'm live on Facebook on both sides of my face right now. Talking out both sides of my face, but that's how we do it here in the world of technology, because maybe that's what it is. We're going to get into all that. Maybe we're going to get into all of that. So we got to teach, and I always like to let people know, I am not a certified psychologist, psychiatrist, or even a counselor, but I would consider myself as like a life coach, because I've lived a very varietous life, and vicariously I've lived through others that have allowed me to get close enough to sponge up some of their game so I can come back and ring it back out to y'all. So here we are. We're going to dive straight into it. We're talking to a writer, a reader, or a listener today, and it says, "Dear the Homie, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing you today as a teacher who is genuinely invested in the success and well-being of her students. Over the course of this academic year, I have observed a recurring challenge among my students: procrastination. I understand that addressing this issue requires a collaborative effort between educators, students, and the community. I'm reaching out to you because I feel that your insights or your reach may be able to give a perspective that can offer a unique or relatable approach to tackling this common problem. The procrastination habit seemed to be impacting not only the academic performance, but also the overall learning experience for these students. I would greatly appreciate any advice or strategies you might have for addressing procrastination amongst young individuals. I understand that connecting with them on a personal level is crucial. How to approach this in any way that resonates with their experience would be invaluable. Moreover, I am open to exploring creative methods or initiatives that could help foster a proactive and motivated mindset amongst my students. Your input and those who listen to you of similar nature, but situations like this would be incredibly beneficial. I believe that by working together, we can make a positive impact on these students' lives and help set them on a path towards success. Your time and wisdom are greatly appreciated, and I look forward to how you answer this question. Sincerely, passionate about my students." All right, passionate about my students. Well, we're going to talk to you. What's up, Jay Deezy? How you doing? That's what's happening. But like, yeah, man. So we talking about students, right? We talking about the students, the future, and we first of all, I want to thank the teacher that wrote in, passionate about my students. I want to thank you, and anybody that writes in or tunes in and taps in to holler at the homie. I want to express, my gratitude for you though as an educator, because I know y'all are often overlooked and often like just thought of as an afterthought, and so, like you're supposed to be there. They look at teachers like acne sometimes. Like, yeah, we know they're there, but they're supposed to be there at a certain time in our children's lives, and that's not cool. In my opinion. So I want to tell you that I want to express my gratitude and thank you for taking the time to reach out, because it does take a village. Everybody, the old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. It does. And it's inspiring to see somebody that's an educator who is like actively seeking solutions, because you know what I mean? Like most people, can't teach a teacher. People don't think you can teach a teacher, but if we any type of worth our weight in any type of anything as integrity is involved, like we have to humble ourselves to say we can all be taught something. And for the person the person that texts me for the person that's reaching out, that's a teacher and wants to be taught themselves, that's admirable. Now when it comes to procrastination, right, it's a challenge that many of us face, a lot of us. Like I said before, I wrote a whole motivational speech about procrastination, right? It's not just in school, but in various aspects of all of our lives. So like the teacher said in the letter that, it's affecting the student's overall learning experience, not just in her class itself, right? And so with that being said, that's something to look at as an entire spectrum. Like we all have to look at something like, what are we doing to promote, waiting to the last minute, looking for that buzzer beater type effect? What are we doing to promote that to the students of today? So one thing that caught my attention in this teacher's letters, excuse me, what's up going on, Salih? One thing that's caught my attention, what you say there, Ryan, he said, absolutely. There is no place of arrival. We all have to keep learning, growing, and evolving. Exactly. And that's coming from an educator. So I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I appreciate you saying that, because this is a question that we all have to ask ourselves. Like, what are we doing? Because children mimic what they see. We all did it. We acted like somebody else. Everybody can act like, well, I ain't act like nobody. As you came up as a child, regardless whether it was 10 years old, 12 years old, 20 years old, you still a kid sometimes in your mind at 20, and this teacher, she's speaking, I don't know what grade level that she teaches, but it's got to be, a level to where the kids are expected to be punctual and work things on time and be ahead of the curve, all the, cliches that people say, and so it must be at a time in their lives where they're expected to already not have this issue going on with them and how it's affecting how they're getting on, right? So the thing that caught my attention in the teacher's letter is her awareness and the need for a collaborative effort, right? Like meaning, what James Pitt said, he said, my old manager called me an urgency junkie because I always wait to the last minute. Yeah, and you say I got the robbery Scully on. No, I can't pull it down. I can't pull it. I ain't got the shiesty on, Matt. But James, that's what I'm saying. Like an urgency junkie. Like we get off on it. Like, ooh, I gotta wait. I used to be that way. Like I learned, and I'm gonna tell you what put me in that position, right? We got a caller coming in. Oh, I love it. I love it when we get callers coming in. You on the line with the homie, Holla.
What's going on, my man? How you doing?
What's going on? Who we got on the line here today?
Oh, it's your boy LA, man.
Oh man, so I'm fortunate enough to have on the line an educator calling in to talk about the subject in which we undergoing right now. Do I got me engineered? Am I all the way turned up? Beautiful. You got me together over there? Beautiful. That one that needed. There we go. I'm going to leave everything alone. See, that my engineers come here, make sure I ain't getting no echo background sound back there in the world. So to all my people in Instagram land, on the line here in this ear, I got an educator from right here. And I'm right. Oh, okay. I know Facebook in here, but on Instagram, y'all can't really hear what we got going on the phone. I got an educator from right here in the state of Nevada. He's calling in because he wanted to tap in about this subject today, and so he called into the show and he wants to talk about how, in his way, well, I'm gonna ask the question to him and I'm gonna let y'all know what his response to it was. So, first of all, appreciate you for jumping on the line with us today, LA. We just gonna keep your initials like that. We just gonna say LA. We don't want to let everybody know who you are, but your initials are L and A, but you're not in LA. But I appreciate you for jumping on the line for us here, because I know right now everybody's out of school. So it's the perfect time for this subject. I can get my educators on the phone. And if you're out there in Instagram land, feel free to call me up at 702-551-5261, and I'll get you in my right ear too. So, LA, so first of all, I got a question for you. Now, as an educator, like I talked about, like how, we're looking for a collaborative effort in order to help these kids understand, like, tackling procrastination requires like a joint venture, like, between teachers, students, and the community, things of that nature, right? So now my question is, as an educator, do you see anything, first of all, how long you been teaching?
Been teaching for about 15 years. 15
years. So you've been through pandemics, you've been through riots, you've been through a few things since you've been teaching, right? So that's good. So you have all of this stuff that you've been undergone as an educator. Now, at a decade and a half of education, do you see anything that is not working today that used to work when you first got in the game? That's part A to the question. You know what I mean? Like, is there any methods of how you teach now that isn't translating to the students of today the way it did to us as students as we learned how to teach these things back to the young?
Okay.
Now, so that's part A to the question. Give me that answer, and then we'll go on to part B to the question. Do you see anything that isn't working today that used to work before?
What used to work and not even when I started teaching, but let's go even further back when I was in high school. I'm a high school teacher.
You're a high school teacher, okay.
Tough love and accountability.
Oh, tough love and accountability used to work is what you're saying.
It used to work, and we've gotten away from that because we have become more concerned about the feelings. How do you feel about something?
Oh, so now it's more feelings associated with it, right, opposed to results associated with giving you the tough love. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just trying to translate, make sure I'm getting it across to both audiences. Okay, I hear you. All right.
So that's what I feel is missing. Now, as what I've seen as far as being in the classroom as a teacher, from what we do now and from when I first started, a lot of that goes back to tough love and accountability. But again, we have become more concerned about students' feelings and their emotional state that we have lost track of. Well, they will still do. What have you done? What effort have you put into it?
So let me make sure I'm clear on this. What you're saying now is even in spite of them turning in the work, they want you to know how they're feeling about even first doing the work, or how they feel about not turning in the work when everybody else was, or is it more individualized, or is it as a blanket that it's more about the feeling of the students opposed to the results of the education? Is that what you're telling me right now?
I would say some of that, but I mean, if we're looking at, like you said, procrastination, or are we looking at the entirety of the education?
I mean, those
are two.
Basically, the procrastination part of it, what's causing them to, put a hold on before they turn anything, because there's no accountability.
I got you.
Okay.
There's no accountability, and we just came off of this system where they were giving students minimum Fs for not turning anything in.
Oh.
You would get 50%.
Ooh.
For turning in 0.
Really? See,
Yes.
And that's not fair to the students. That's unfair. That's not fair to the students. The ones that are doing the work.
Yes.
On time.
We're putting in built-in excuses for a lot of these kids.
Oh.
So of course they're going to be procrastinating because I can not turn it in at all and get 50%.
Wow. See, and that's one thing as a person who's not in the education field, who I wouldn't understand that kids can get credit for doing nothing. Like that's back when they used to say you get 400 points for writing your name on SAT type stuff, right? So, but if you get 50% for turning in nothing, like you still got some points. Like, and when it used to be a 0. So, and that's based off, you telling them that's based off feelings that you don't want them to feel like a 0. Wow. Okay. So now with that being said, can it be tweaked? Is it something that can be dusted off? Like, can they fix that system, or do they need to just scrap it? And do you feel they need to just scrap that system and just come with something completely unique, brand new?
That's a great question. I said we have to come up with something completely brand new.
Okay.
The way we were taught when we were coming up, the world is different now.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2023. And these kids have access and they see everything. So now they want an education system that can be geared specifically to the things they want to accomplish in their lives.
Yes, it's true. They don't have to weed through it like we did to figure out what we want to do with ourselves. They can microwave it and get straight to it. Well, you know what, LA, I appreciate you for tuning in and tapping in with us today and giving us your insight as a 15-year educator in the I'm gonna call it the system, but in the educational system. And we do appreciate you. You know, we need to salute y'all teachers just as much as we need to salute like the soldiers and, you know, people like that and first responders, because y'all are on the front line every day, you know, in a different way. And sometimes it's safety. Sometimes it's the responsibility of the life of a young mind. You know, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. But like you say, we're focused a lot more on how people are feeling versus like what can we do to get you where you need to be. So again, we appreciate you for tuning in and tapping in, LA. I hope you always watch and tell a friend to tell a friend. Hot7025fm.com, or right now, holla at the homie every Wednesday from 3 to 4 Pacific Standard Time. So appreciate you, man. I'll get at you in a minute. Holla.
Anytime, brother.
Thank you very much. And see that right there, that caller let me know what's going on, Stacks, nephew in the building. That caller let me know that when the teacher on the other line is asking about this collaborative effort, how it takes a bunch of us to do it, it also kind of falls back into the lap of and the responsibility of the students overall. But, you know, connecting with them on a personal level. And that's where it gets hard, because especially when your classroom is filled with 45 students and you got to try to keep the attention of, if not all of them, at least a large percentage of them, right? Like when you're on that level and you're trying to figure out what's next, to, you know, what the person next to that person is thinking, and there's too much chess movements going on in the classroom for a teacher, especially when they only paying them what they paying them. That's the other reason why I feel that teachers should be paid a lot more money. Not beside the fact that they teach all the doctors and everybody else how to be who they are, but the fact that, you know, they play chess in so many different ways, mental chess, to figure out who can sit next to who, or who can be more productive on this side of the room. What type of decorations in the room are going to keep the kids' attention? Like, this is all psychology. Teachers are psychologists. You know? Teachers are real psychologists. What you say, Dakar? Some people do their best work at last minute. Nah. There have been some good work done in the last minute, but I would never say people do their best work last minute, because if you can put all that in, because I'm gonna tell you, this is from the number one procrastinator on the planet. Well, former. You know, it's like AANA. You know, hi, my name's 360, and I'm a procrastinator. Hi, 360. Even though I'm in recovery, from procrastination, right? But I used to think, oh man, I work best under pressure. No, I just work okay and well under pressure. But when I decided to relieve that pressure and just really put forth the effort necessary to be able to, you know, plan what I needed to do, then the whole outcome became even more magnanimous. Like it grew in so many different ways. My understanding of what I got out of what I did was a whole lot deeper. You know, when I'm doing it the last minute, yeah, I may be a buzzer beater king because I'm quick on the fly. I'm a freestyler, right? Booyah, I can think fast. But that doesn't mean that that's my best work. Yeah, some great work I can get done at that time. In the last minute, the last second, 3, 2, 1, boom, I'm good. And like, woo, fire. But what if I would have done that a day ago, a week ago, a month ago? Man, imagine how much more depth that could have had and how much I would have learned from it. Because when I do it at the last minute, it's like a burp. It comes out. It comes out. Would you say I highly recommend the book Stolen Focus, written by a researcher named Johan Hari. All right, let me screenshot that so I can remember that. Stolen Focus. I'll come back to it in the viewing of the video, but I just want to make sure I got it right now on my screen. I'm always into learning more, right? I'm like a sponge. I want to learn as much as I possibly can at any given time, right? If I feel like I can't turn my page in the book of life unless I've learned something today that I didn't know yesterday. You know how they say I was today years old when I found that out. I want that every day. If not, I feel like I'm still on the same page and I've fallen asleep. They said we are dealing with as a society, both adults and children, with the effects of trauma social media and technology has done. Definitely. And it's sort of like I sound sort of like a catch-22 or I sort of sound like hypocritical because here I am talking to people on social media, right? But this is the outlet to where I can get in. What's up, Twin J? What's going on, Kareem coaches? This is the outlet where I can get to people, but I can't stand it at times. Like it's the fact that it's so magnetic to people to where you can't even get their attention because they so stuck in the phone. It's traumatic what it's done to us as a society. It's kicking our ass like in a big way. Like social media, you know what they say, the internet is undefeated, and it is. It's undefeated, and that's in every way you can think about it. So with that being said, let's fast forward to my next point. Like first, we got to understand, we talked about like getting with them on a personal level, right? Meeting these students on a personal level. So in that, you got to understand their experiences. Like we got to tap into each kid or each grouping or each class and find out what's this class's experience. Like, who's the next Freedom Writers teacher? Who's the next Dangerous Minds teacher? Who's the next Jaime Escalante? Who's these next teachers who really tap in to their students? I know there's probably some out there, but they're not getting put on the forefront in the social media realm to where they can get the recognition. It says absolutely and our ability to solve are directly related to our ability to focus. It is. We have the attention span of a gnat because of social media, because of the internet. We can get our answers to our questions just like that. All you gotta say is, "Hey Google," or "Hey," I ain't gonna say her name because she gonna boom and mess up and have me knocked off the screen. We can say whoever's name, Alexa, whoever, and we can get it right now. We don't even have to wait. I'm so programmed to ask Alexa some stuff. When I'm in the kitchen, I'm chopping, getting stuff together. I'm just gonna ask Alexa a question, and she gonna answer every single time. Every time. We're programmed. We're all programmed. Remember the movie The Matrix? We're in it, right? So now we got to find out where these students are in the Matrix, right? Where is their position? What pill did they take? The red pill, the blue pill, or those are metaphoric, or some actual pill? Deal and get and understand their experiences, their challenges, and their aspirations. We got to know, we got to find out a lot about them. What's going on, King Bane? We got to know a lot about these students, right? We got to find out. What's up, Kirk Williams? We got to find out, dig inside, find out what's up with them.
Because like I've got my favorite teachers that I had of all time, right? I had Miss Dorothy Oubre, my favorite teacher of all time. My favorite coach was Ronald Tatum. You know what I mean? These are people who who tapped into me individually, right? These are people who tapped into me as a person, right? Like, and was found out, you know, the late, great William Barry Scott, rest his soul, like tapped into me to find out what's tinkering inside here. Got with understood my experiences, understood my challenges, understood my aspirations. Because these things can provide valuable insights into the why. Mr. Lofton, I feel you. Mr. Lofton was a cold piece too. I didn't have him like that, but you know what I mean? I saw him tapping into other people. You know what I mean? It's certain teachers that when they tap into you, you know, like, are we teachers? As educators, are we tapping into anybody in our class? I hope that all my educators are. I hope we all got at least 2 to 3 favorites per period, per class. You know, I hope all my educators have at least 2 to 3 favorites, minimum. You can have 20 if you want. I got 20 favorites in my 3rd period class. I want that. I pray for that, because that means you've at least tapped in with somebody enough to show that you're interested in understanding their experiences, their challenges, and their aspirations. We can always ask a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you aspire? But when is the last time you asked them, what are you facing on a daily basis? Are you okay in home? Not just asking, getting in their business, but like, is everything okay on your walk home? I saw you didn't smile today. You know what I mean? It's certain. That means you're paying attention to them, right? You know, you say, where we come from, the teachers get no recognition. They don't. You're right, Curtis Williams. The teachers don't get recognition. And they should, because they save lives in a lot of ways. They saved Mr. Cunningham at Monroe. Saved my life because I was going to be the clowniest of class clown because I'm witty. You know what I mean? I'm smart-mouthed in a mother. Smart-mouthed in a mother. But Mr. Cunningham saved my life. Saved it because the fact that he made us write standards that was a page long and he gave us 10 of them. 10, and it's a page long, and the words single space, little bitty writing. You know, but teachers save lives when they tap into the lives, right? You know what I mean? So when we get a chance to understand the experiences, like what are these kids going through? This is a way we can stop. It's because it's something that they're going through that's causing them to wait to the last minute. Is it the fact that they found success in that? Because we got to find a way to clip the wings sometimes and bring them back to earth. Because you say all my students are my favorites, even though they are special needs, I see the difference I make in their day to life. And that's beautiful. Curtis Williams, again, I salute all my educators out there. I'm talking about from, kindergarten, special needs, college professors, high school, middle school. You could be an after-school caregiver. You're an educator. You could be a coach. You're an educator to these students, these kids, right? And it does, you're right, Twin J2, it does start at home, but sometimes when you tap in to these students as an educator, you understand that their experiences at home aren't conducive to this part of life. We know we've all got, friends that we've had that their parents didn't give a damn what they did. So it's not support, especially if they really don't care if they're not bringing home no grades, they're not even there. Not all parents are at home. So we got to say they save lives in those classrooms, right? That's why I say they should be paid a whole lot more. Would you say to our kids taking that green leafy pill? They taking a lot of pills. You say, would you say moms used to teach in the poorest zip code in Memphis? She would bring kids to our house just to show them another side of life. Yeah, because y'all lived out in Germantown. Y'all was out there with the others, with the palm colors. Y'all was out there. So that's and see, your mom, love Miss Pitts, tapped into her students. She tapped into her students and let them know, like, everything that you see before you ain't always what you're going to see. It's not always what you're going to see. And even if you don't, as a teacher, have a better life to show them, you can find out what's going on in theirs and you can give them a picture of a better life. Help them understand what they can tap into as individuals. You feel me? Like, you know, I had 2 kids before I even walked into college. But I had people like Coach Ronald Tatum who tapped into my experiences, my challenges, and he knew my aspirations. And he let me know, like, hey, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And he put something in my head, and I ain't had none since. You know, and it wasn't about the kids and things of that nature, but he knew what parts of me were driving me. So he let me know that there was more for me than what I had in my mind. Right? So as educators, we tap into these kids and we find out what's making them wait. What's causing them to pause? Because it's not just about the academic side of things, right? But recognizing and addressing the underlying factors. You say, and what made us go to the same school so we would be well-rounded and not little spoiled brats. Exactly. That's perfect. And see, that's perfect. Like that's an ultimate flex right there, James Pitts II. That's an ultimate flex. Y'all live on the other side of town. Your mama send you over there to where, not even to the one where she teach, but somewhere in that same zip code where y'all got to learn to not be spoiled. What's Curtis Williams say? He said the lack of support in the home keeps their esteem bottled up, so they don't know how to express in a positive way. So they steal, ditch, join gangs, and become followers. Exactly. That's exactly what happens. That's how gangs recruit. They see the little, the little duckling that's just out there in the water by themselves, and they be like, hey, come here, young blood. Come here, young cuz. You know what I mean? They get in your ear. And they get in your ear and they get to talking to you and they give you an idea. They paint a picture of a better life. So now as an educator, you can give them a visual of a better life. But you have to understand that they don't like the life that they have in front of them as they sit before you. That's one thing we got to learn to understand. We have to tap into the young, because as my caller said, you know, they put a little blanket on it and they say like, well, we worry about their feelings. We're worried about their how do they feel, right? How do they feel? Yeah, but in order to know how they feel, why are they feeling that way? That's what we're talking about. Like, it provides valuable insight into the why the procrastination might be occurring anyway. Once we find out what they're going through, what they may be challenged with. What's up, Precious Cuts? What's up, Ty Valentine? When we find out what they're going through, you know, we get to the why and recognizing and addressing the underlying factors, right? Right. So another thing, like the teacher, like she opened up the door into like exploring methods of and different initiatives. Right. Now, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. You know, sometimes traditional approaches, you know, they may not cut it. Everything doesn't always work the way we think it will. Right. So you got to kind of pivot. You got to pivot every now and then. And that's in life, too. That's not just what's going on, sister. Carmen Mack in the building. You know, you got to be able to pivot in life, right? Meaning if something doesn't go the way you planned it out, then you have to have an additional route that you're going to take. Like in GPS, my GPS now, if you go on Google Maps, GPS going to pull up and say, well, this route will save you 6 minutes. And it gives you an option to say, yes, I want to pivot and take that route. Right. So now you as a person, as a thinker, as an educator, as a knowledgeable individual, you have to have other routes prepped just in case the one you've got before you doesn't work. You know, maybe there's room for, like we said, you know, as far as these kids, maybe there's room for incorporating things like technology or like what they call it, gamification. I think that's what they call it, right? That's basically introducing games, right? You know, or interactive projects. I know I learn a whole lot better when it's interactive. I love interactive stuff. Like, I'd be like, I retain that information a whole lot better, right? You know, it makes things more engaging and less daunting, less like, oh man, I got to learn something. So maybe that works with the kids. And maybe that will help stop the procrastination, right? So I know it's some of y'all out there that's watching right now. Y'all kids are home for the holidays. It's, less than a week before Christmas. So everybody home for the holidays that was in school. Everybody looking for a daycare. That's working during the day. Or somebody that's going to keep an eye on their kids or hoping one of their kids old enough, So now, what can we be doing as educators of these kids, whether it's neighbors? What up, K-Rod? You know what I mean? As educators, as neighbors of these kids, right? Because we can continue to educate each other. I'm hoping the neighbors are each one, reach one, teach one, and out here still. I hope that still goes on, right? You know what I mean? I hope it does. I hope that still goes on. You know what I mean? To where, we're able to interact with each other to a point where we're never losing the learning, right? So like even while they're on vacation, we can find out what had them slowing down and waiting to the last minute at school. Find interactive projects that make things more engaging. Pay attention to them right now while they're at home. See what keeps their attention. Now, let it ride. They on vacation. Let them vacate. They don't need, unless they got some stuff. They got some makeup work. Let them ride. Let them chill. Let these kids vacate. They need it. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, like, find out what keeps their attention. Then when it's time for their attention to be kept, when it's educational, now you use that. Was it Bluey? Was it this, that, and the third? What was it? Was Gracie's Corner for some of my youngin? My youngest grandson be watching Gracie's Corner. My other grandkids watch Bluey, So it's like, what is it that keeps their attention? Is it games? My oldest grandson, he's a gamer. So now I know to teach him, to keep his attention, I got to give him something that's interactive. I know 3 needs something that's interactive. He need it. He need to be gaming. If it's gaming, he can learn from it, he gonna kill it. If I could teach him calculus on a game, he gonna kill it. He gonna eat it up because that's what's got his attention. So now we can't just use what we thought would be, sit down, trace these letters. That may not work anymore. It's too much technological stuff in front of them to keep their attention. There's too many flashing screens and, blue light, exposure that they're getting already. So now we got to find out a way to teach them while they're there. So while they're getting that blue light exposure, they could be absorbing something else, some knowledge, or some habits that will get them in a way to where they're not waiting to the last minute to be buzzer beaters. Yes, it feels good to be a buzzer beater. Ja Morant just made a buzzer beater last night. First game back from a suspension. He just got back from doing something weird. We're getting wrapped up in something weird. And his first game back, he get a buzzer beater. I hope that ain't the lesson that we taken from it. And I'm glad he made the buzzer beater because it was sweet. His teammates told him, "No, player, you back. Go get this thing for us." And I loved it. Yeah, Grizzlies basketball. I knew you was coming, JLP the second, but I'm glad he made it because I like Ja Morant. You know what I mean? So he was a buzzer beater last night, but we're not always all buzzer beaters. That's why the point of the reason I brought Ja up, right? And he said, in his interviews that he learned a lot about himself. So if we're learning about our kids or about our students, that means we're observing. We have to pay attention, give ourselves time to look, but you have to want to. You can't just do it in pastime and think you as the teacher are going to absorb what it is that keeps their attention because it changes. You think one thing. What up, Cardi Land? You think one thing, 1 second, this, that, and the third, right? But next thing you know, that's not even their attention span anymore. They don't even like that toy anymore. They don't even like that show anymore. That was just on for the moment, and you thought you got it. You have to want to, as an educator, as a teacher of the young mind, to tap into and really absorb what they like, what keeps their attention. Again, is it technology? Is it gaming? Is it interactive projects? Is it something that's just more engaging to where they get to use their hands? Again, I salute the dedicated teacher that came to us with this letter. It's what they say. They come out the womb. They know how to use YouTube. Exactly. Oh, my word. My second grandson. Oh, my good. Mackie, he's the YouTube king. You right about that, Curtis Williams? Oh, my goodness. Mackie is the YouTube king. He'd be like, no, Grandpa, I went on YouTube and it he'd be telling me all about it. I'd be like, slow down. I don't even know what you're saying right now, kid, because you way ahead of me on YouTube. And YouTube University, anybody who ain't been on YouTube University, you better go enroll. You better enroll in YouTube University. It ain't nothing. I have yet to find something I want to learn how to do on YouTube that is not on YouTube. Everybody got something and they all want views, right? Find out. Test me. Put something you want to learn how to do that's not crazy. Even some crazy stuff on there. But they're going to flag you. You put some crazy stuff in your own search bar. I ain't putting it in mine. But YouTube University. That's exactly, Curtis Williams. They come out the womb knowing how to use YouTube. Or is if they come out the womb and we push YouTube on them to keep them occupied. Both, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other, right? So it's like, so we have to tap into, again, what it is that's keeping their attention, right? So, again, I appreciate the dedicated teachers, that's suggested involving students in the process. You have to involve them. Ask them, hey, is this fun to y'all? Is this sinking in? Like, don't think just because, I came with, I got a master plan. They're all going to learn my subject. No, don't think just because you think you got the magic potion or the master plan or you didn't stirred your cauldron and now automatically they're going to flip that switch. Ask them. Stop in the middle of it. Don't be so arrogant as an educator sometimes. A lot of us think because, I coached for many, many years and I had to learn sometimes maybe I'm not teaching this right. Maybe it's not the fact they're not getting it. Maybe I'm not giving it to them the way they understand it. So meaning I'm not teaching, I'm not coaching them right? So we have to be, as educators, humble enough to pause, look around, and say, hey, is this working for y'all? Are y'all enjoying this? Is this something that after we're done, you're going to remember we talked about this? If not, now you got to figure it out. Switch it up. What's the problem? Now you got to figure all that out, right? Ask them. Tap into their individual styles. Their learning styles. See what motivates them. Exactly. Everybody learns differently. You can't just blanket your lessons. And I know a lot of educators aren't doing that. I know a lot of y'all are really, 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 because I see it. I see it, man. I've seen it throughout the years, and I love my teachers that have. As I look back in hindsight, and I be like, damn, they, even though such and such was doing this, that, and the third, they still were able to get across to that person, to me, all individually. So again, I salute all of my educators. I love y'all because y'all have chosen to take the chance to make sure our children are learning what they need to learn. And more. You giving them life lessons, by making, the children active participants, by finding out what they like to do and asking them in their education, is likely to set they're more likely to be enthusiastic about it, right? And so all my teachers that's tapping in already, share with us what it is that got your kids, excited about learning. Because they need enthusiasm in order to reduce procrastination. Like if you're not pumped up about something, if you're not anxious and ready to go do it, you'll put it off to the last minute. So what is it that we can do to make the kids or the students, I'm not going to say the kids, make the students anxious and excited about getting it done? Is there a reward system? What'd you say, Denver Brigham? Learning styles differ. Tap into the strengths of the individual and work on the weaknesses with the grading scale, but an improvement scope. I like that. An improvement scope. You know what I mean? Because, people never understood what it means to grade on the curve, right? Grade on the curve just means somebody's way up here, but most of y'all down here. So we going to grade right in the middle so we can kind of bridge this all together. What's it say? Sports, fashion, your swag, fitness, your spirit, whatever gift the teacher has is the segue, building rapport and And then you got them. Exactly. Whatever segue you have as an educator. But again, like we say, you have to find out what is it that the kids you say without a grading scale. Okay, without a grading scale. Okay, no grading scale, but an improvement scope. So that's what you mean. So the improvement scope means like you here, but you got the potential to be here. If I'm understanding that correctly, Denver Brigham, correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Like, but back to Royal Nelson's point as well, to tap in with that, you have to use what you have. Use what you got to give them what they need, right? As a coach, whatever it was that I saw that my kids, appreciated about me, I poured on a little bit more here and there. Whatever it was, I'm not going to be specific. If they like me being silly, I found a way to teach them through silliness. If they like, if they love the fact that, coach would be rapping stuff, I would rap to them about other stuff dealing with what they got going on. These are just examples, small examples of finding out what I had, what I could use to tap into the kids to find out what's beneficial for them, to tap into the students, to tap into the players, whatever it is you're teaching, whoever it is you're teaching, to tap into my children. We're always educating, people find a way to tap into what I like to learn from. Find a way to make it simple for me, especially when it comes to computers. My engineer, / sister, tell you that. She'll tell you, let me find a way for this old man to make it easy. I got to give him a one-tap button that's going to give him the message, and he going to absorb it, as long as it don't take a whole lot of steps. Beautiful. She tapped into it. She found a way, and now are we going to be successful? And that's how we get each other to be successful. So, I appreciate, lastly, the belief in collaboration, the potential to make a positive impact is crucial, right? So without these things, we won't be successful if we don't believe that we can collaborate and come together and bring these students to where they need to be. What you say? Maybe we all need to examine the system of certification and restructure needs versus wants for society and individual improvements. And that in itself, you always got me in awe with some of your teachings on here, Denver Brigham, because that's a different perspective and way to look at things, like individual improvements. But again, we have to find out what these individuals are individually doing individually. So there it is. So again, I appreciate all y'all as always for tuning in and tapping in. To my listeners, if you have any thoughts or suggestions or personal experiences, always feel free to put it on the page and put, hashtag holla at the homie. And what you say, Roy Nelson, and you must listen. You can't teach them if they are hungry or hurting. You must tend to the things that are on Maslow's list. Lead with love. You have to listen. You know my number one rule of communication. You have to listen to absorb and not to respond, right? You got to take in what these students are telling you through their body language, through their actual language, and through, their movements within their groupings. Take it all in. Absorb that and tap into how you can help each individual. So, as always, I thank all y'all for tuning in and tapping in with the homie. I'm here. They are hurting. They hurting, bro. These children are hurting. They're hurting mentally. They're hurting, psychologically because of social media. People no longer have friends. They just have followers. I'm thankful to the fact I got some people I can call my friends, like real friendship, family, friend relationships. All these things are possible because we came up in an era that didn't involve these screens in front of us. We came up when none of this was even possible. I got a partner who's been in circles with the person who created the like button. Shout out to my homie Cool Mill. Cool Mill been in circles with the dude who created the like button. And these are people who have created these nuances that have taken us away from each other. Kinetically being stuck together. You know what I mean? So as always, I do appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in with the homie. I'm gonna keep y'all posted up. Great show. Appreciate you. You know what I mean? I like that. Doing God's work. That's what's happening. So until next Wednesday, if you need me, send me a letter. Let me know. Send me a letter at HOLLA ATTHAHOMIE@gmail.com. So until next time, be on holla at me on hot7025fm.com or on my Instagram or my Facebook. I'm gonna holla at y'all in a minute. Get over here.